The biblical narrative, particularly Matthew's Gospel, presents a peculiar detail about the Star of Bethlehem that challenges purely naturalistic explanations. It states that the star not only appeared in the east, guiding the Magi, but that it went before them until it came and stood over the place where the child was. This is a crucial distinction. Natural stars, whether individual luminaries or planetary conjunctions, do not behave in this manner. They do not travel ahead of individuals and then hover precisely over a specific house in a town. This unique characteristic strongly suggests a miracle of guidance, something beyond the predictable movements of celestial bodies. It points to a supernatural, dynamic phenomenon. This implies an intelligent light, an active presence that was not merely a distant object in space, but a direct agent of divine direction. It functioned more like a celestial guide, actively leading the Magi to their precise destination, rather than simply indicating a general area or direction. Its ability to stand over a specific place eliminates the possibility of it being a conventional star or planet. Consider the precision involved, leading them not just to a city, but to a particular house within that city. This level of exactitude is a hallmark of divine intervention, a tailor-made sign for a specific purpose and for specific individuals. It removed any ambiguity, ensuring the Magi arrived at the intended location. This extraordinary guidance offers a profound reflection on how God orchestrates His plans. He is capable of providing signs that are not only clear, but also uniquely adapted for those He intends to guide. Just as He guided the Israelites with a pillar of cloud and fire, He guided the Magi with a star that defied normal astronomical behavior. The star that moved serves as a powerful reminder that God still guides His people today. His guidance may not always be as dramatic as a star moving across the sky, but it is always tailored for those who are watching, who are seeking, and who are willing to follow, even when the journey leads them across challenging terrains or into unfamiliar territory. The divine GPS of the Star of Bethlehem assures us that when God intends to reveal something, He will provide the means to find it. The Star of Bethlehem, in its profound and purposeful appearance, is not an anomaly in the biblical narrative. Rather, it is one in a series of instances where the heavens themselves became a canvas for divine communication, demonstrating that God frequently uses the cosmos as an instrument of His voice. The universe, in its vastness, has repeatedly borne witness to His power and intentions. Consider the remarkable account in the book of Joshua, where the sun and moon stood still at Joshua's command, extending the day to ensure Israel's victory in battle. This was not a natural occurrence, but a direct intervention, a celestial pause orchestrated by divine power to achieve a specific historical outcome. The heavens literally participated in human history. Centuries later, at the most pivotal moment in salvation history, the heavens once again bore witness. When Jesus was crucified, the Bible records that darkness fell over the whole land from noon until 3 in the afternoon, despite it being the middle of the day. This was a profound and supernatural darkening of the sun, a cosmic lament and a sign of the immense spiritual weight of that moment. And looking to the future, the apocalyptic signs described in the book of Revelation speak of cosmic disturbances as harbingers of divine judgment and the consummation of history. Stars falling, the sun becoming black, the moon turning to blood. These are powerful images of the heavens participating in God's ultimate plan. While we do not delve into the specifics of these prophecies here, they reinforce the theme of celestial communication. These instances compel us to ask, is the God who created the stars merely an observer, or does He actively use them as instruments of His voice, to declare His glory, to mark pivotal moments, and to guide His people? The evidence within Scripture strongly suggests the latter, presenting a universe intimately connected to its Creator's will. The question then shifts to our own era, in a world dominated by scientific inquiry, and often quick to dismiss the supernatural. Does the modern world still listen for those messages in the cosmos? Are we attuned to the subtle or even dramatic ways in which the heavens might still speak, echoing the ancient wonders that guided wise men and proclaimed the profound truths of God? Beyond the historical debates, the scientific theories, and the ancient mysteries, the enduring power of the Star of Bethlehem lies in its profound spiritual meaning for us today. What does this ancient celestial event, which occurred over 2 millennia ago, signify for our personal lives in the modern world? At its heart, the star is a tangible reminder that God can and does reach directly into human history. He is not a distant, unconcerned deity, but an active participant in the unfolding story of humanity. If he intervened so dramatically at the birth of his Son, it reassures us that he is equally capable of intervening in our individual lives, guiding and illuminating our paths. The star teaches us that God speaks in myriad ways, in both the grand spectacle of a pillar of fire and the subtle glow of starlight. His communication is diverse, tailored to be understood by different people in different contexts. It encourages us to cultivate a posture of attentiveness, to recognize his voice and his signs, whether they appear as dramatic interventions or quiet whispers. This story also offers immense comfort and hope. Even when the world feels lost in overwhelming darkness, God places a light in the sky to lead us home. The star appeared at a time of political oppression and spiritual longing, a beacon in the night. It promises that no matter how dim our circumstances may seem, God provides a guiding light to those who seek Him. We are encouraged to look for the stars in our own lives. These might not be literal celestial bodies, but divine signs, moments of unexpected guidance, or sudden clarity that illuminate our next steps. They can be serendipitous encounters, a timely word from a friend, an inexplicable sense of peace, or a profound realization that steers us in the right direction. These are the miraculous moments, often subtle, sometimes spectacular, that are designed to draw us closer to Christ. They are God's personal invitations, His gentle nudges, or His undeniable interventions, confirming His presence and His care for us in our unique journeys. The Star of Bethlehem, therefore, continues to shine not just as a historical event, but as a living symbol of God's ongoing guidance and His unwavering commitment to lead all who seek Him toward the light of His Son. It invites us to trust that even in our darkest nights, a star is shining, ready to lead us home. We have journeyed through the astronomical possibilities, delved into the echoes of ancient prophecies, explored the mystery of the Magi, confronted the fear of Herod, and pondered the star's supernatural nature and guiding precision. Now we draw all these threads together to grasp the ultimate revelation of the Star of Bethlehem. It was heaven's declaration, the cosmic announcement of the birth that changed everything. This luminous sign in the sky ultimately reveals the profound truth of the incarnation of God. It signifies the dawn of grace, an era where the divine stepped into human flesh, bridging the infinite gap between Creator and creation. The star was the visible punctuation mark, declaring that the long-awaited Messiah had finally arrived. This was not merely an interesting astronomical event, nor was it just the birth of another child. It was the moment eternity intersected with time, the climax of centuries of divine preparation. The Star of Bethlehem pointed to the unparalleled reality of God making Himself visible, tangible, and profoundly reachable through the person of Christ. Think of the sheer audacity of it. The infinite God, humbling Himself to become a vulnerable infant, born in a humble stable. And the universe itself bore witness with a unique light leading strangers from distant lands to His very presence. This event was not a quiet secret. It was proclaimed from the heavens. The star did not simply illuminate a dusty manger in a forgotten town. Its light pierced through the spiritual darkness of the world, illuminating the destiny of all humanity. It declared that hope had arrived, that a new kingdom had been inaugurated, and that the path to redemption was now clear. It was a sign that God keeps His promises, that His plans unfold with perfect precision, and that He desires to draw all people to Himself. The star was a beacon of light in a world shrouded in darkness, a promise that true light had come into the world. This celestial marvel served as the ultimate announcement of Emmanuel, God with us. It was a visible manifestation of divine love and intentionality, setting the stage for the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, the one through whom the world would be forever changed. The Star of Bethlehem was more than a light. It was a living testament to the greatest story ever told, a story of God breaking into our world to reclaim, redeem, and restore everything. If this journey through the mystery and meaning of the Star of Bethlehem has illuminated something for you, if it has deepened your understanding or stirred your faith, we invite you to become a part of our community. Please subscribe to this channel for more content that explores the depths of these timeless truths. Your like on this video helps us reach more people who are searching for answers and inspiration. Share your thoughts and reflections in the comments below. We truly value your insights and questions. And if this message resonated with you, consider sharing this video with a friend or family member who might also find light and hope in this ancient story. Was it a shimmering beacon, a celestial anomaly that defied all scientific explanation? Or was it merely a rare, albeit spectacular, alignment of planets, a comet, or a supernova that ancient eyes misinterpreted? For centuries, the Star of Bethlehem has stood as one of history's most profound enigmas, a light that appeared in the night sky and set in motion a chain of events that would forever alter the course of humanity. This luminous mystery invites us into a captivating dance between the physical and the spiritual, between the meticulous observations of astronomers and the sweeping narratives of theology. We find ourselves at the crossroads of science and faith, pondering whether the heavens simply displayed a natural wonder or orchestrated a direct, unmistakable intervention. The question is not just what it was, but what it meant. Beyond its astronomical implications, the star carried an undeniable emotional and prophetic weight. It was more than a navigational guide. It was a divine announcement, a celestial herald proclaiming a new era. This single point of light pierced through the darkness, speaking to both the humble shepherds in their fields and the wise scholars far away, uniting them in an unfolding cosmic drama. This journey will take us deep into ancient texts, astronomical data, and theological reflections. We will sift through the evidence, examining the theories that attempt to explain this phenomenon through the lens of observable science, while simultaneously acknowledging the profound spiritual implications that have captivated believers for millennia. Prepare to look up, not just at the stars, but at the possibilities they hold. Open your mind to a perspective that transcends the ordinary, where the universe itself becomes a canvas for divine communication. What if this ancient light holds keys to understanding not just the past, but our own present, and the guiding hand that still moves in the cosmos? This is an investigation into the star that shone, the world it changed, and the enduring message it delivers even today. For millennia, humans have gazed skyward, seeking answers, and the heavens have often provided them, sometimes subtly, sometimes with grand pronouncements. When considering the Star of Bethlehem, the first inclination for many is to seek a scientific explanation. Could it have been a conjunction of planets, a particularly bright comet, a distant supernova, or some other unusual astronomical alignment that could account for such a brilliant light? Ancient civilizations, from the Babylonians with their detailed star charts to the meticulous observations of Chinese astronomers and the records left by Roman scholars, possessed a profound understanding of the cosmos. They tracked planetary movements, noted cometary appearances, and recorded celestial events with surprising precision. By examining these historical records, we can try to piece together what was actually visible in the night skies around the crucial period of 702 BC. Astronomical models allow us to reconstruct the celestial positions during that era. One prominent theory points to a series of rare and spectacular conjunctions, particularly between the planets Jupiter and Saturn, or even Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars, occurring in the constellation Pisces or Leo. Such alignments would have created a truly brilliant star in the western sky, an event remarkable enough to draw attention. Another possibility involves a nova or supernova, a sudden immense brightening of a star. While records of such events from that precise period are scarce, it remains a contender for a brief, incredibly bright light. Comets, too, are often suggested, though their often unpredictable appearance and the biblical description of the star standing over a place make this less likely, as comets typically traverse the sky. The search for a scientific explanation offers a powerful testament to the vast precision and intricate order of the cosmos. The universe operates according to laws that allow for spectacular, yet entirely natural, phenomena. Finding a plausible astronomical event does not necessarily diminish the wonder of the story. It can, in fact, enhance our appreciation for the complexity of God's creation. However, even as we delve into real astronomical data and explore the sheer scale of the universe, it is vital to hold space for the dimension of faith. The biblical narrative hints at something more than a mere natural occurrence, something with purpose and intelligence behind its movement. The heavens do declare the glory of God, as Psalm 19 verse 1 tells us, and whether through a unique natural event or a direct supernatural intervention, the Star of Bethlehem forces us to contemplate the profound connection between the material universe and the divine will. The appearance of the star begs a crucial question: who were these mysterious magi, and how did they interpret such an astronomical sign? They were not kings, as popular tradition often depicts, but rather learned men, likely astrologers or priests from the East, possibly Persia or Babylon. Their deep understanding of celestial phenomena and ancient prophecies set them apart. What knowledge did they possess that enabled them to discern a king's birth from a mere cosmic event? Their unique insight suggests a profound connection to a long tradition of wisdom, perhaps even stemming from the Jewish diaspora. It is plausible that they were familiar with prophecies, particularly those from the Old Testament, which spoke of a coming ruler in Judea. The book of Daniel, for instance, details his significant role in the Babylonian court, where he himself was a prophet and an interpreter of dreams and signs. Daniel prophesied about the coming of the Messiah and even established a succession of wise men, or magi, within the empire. It is entirely conceivable that the knowledge of a coming king, particularly one indicated by a star, was passed down through generations within their order. Therefore, for the Magi, the star was likely more than a simple navigational tool. It was a divine summons, a clear indicator that something momentous was unfolding in Judea. Their journey was not random. It was motivated by an expectation rooted in a blend of astronomical observation and ancient prophetic texts, a unique interpretation available only to those truly attuned to heavenly wisdom. Their willingness to embark on such a perilous and extensive journey across deserts and kingdoms speaks volumes about their conviction. This was no casual trip. It was a pilgrimage driven by a deep reverence for what the star represented. They were seeking a newborn king, a figure of immense significance, fulfilling what they believed to be a divine mandate. This intricate tapestry of prophecy, astronomy, and divine timing is truly remarkable. It highlights how God can use multiple channels to communicate His will, guiding those with open hearts and discerning spirits. The Magi, though outsiders, were drawn into the very heart of the messianic narrative through a sign in the sky that spoke directly to their unique understanding. Their arrival, prompted by this extraordinary star, represents a pivotal moment. Foreigners, Gentiles, were among the first to acknowledge and worship the Messiah, demonstrating that Christ's arrival was not solely for one nation, but for all peoples. Ultimately, the Magi's journey underscores the profound truth that God works through both natural means and supernatural intervention, orchestrating events to bring about His purposes, drawing the wise from distant lands to the cradle of His Son. The Star of Bethlehem was not an isolated, singular event, disconnected from the broader narrative of divine revelation. Instead, it emerged as the profound fulfillment of a long-anticipated promise, an echo resounding from the ancient scrolls of prophecy. For centuries, various texts within the Old Testament hinted at a coming star, a light that would signify the arrival of the Messiah. Perhaps one of the most direct prophecies comes from Numbers 24 verse 17, where Balaam declares, "A star will come out of Jacob. A scepter will rise out of Israel." This ancient pronouncement directly links a celestial body with the rise of a powerful ruler from Israel, a clear foreshadowing of a messianic figure. For those who understood these prophecies, the appearance of such a star would have been unmistakable. Then there is the majestic prophecy in Isaiah 9, which speaks of a great light shining on those living in darkness, declaring, "For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders." While not explicitly mentioning a star, the theme of a brilliant light accompanying the birth of a deliverer perfectly aligns with the imagery surrounding Bethlehem. This passage describes the nature of this king, who would be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Other messianic prophecies, while not always directly mentioning a star, contributed to a broader expectation of a divine intervention, a royal birth that would transform the world. The Jewish people, through generations, had held on to these promises, waiting for the one who would come to redeem and rule. The star, therefore, served as a beacon, confirming to them and to the wider world that these ancient words were now being brought to fruition. This connection reveals how the celestial sign was not just a beautiful occurrence, but an anticipated one, deeply embedded in the spiritual consciousness of the time. It was a visible manifestation of divine faithfulness, a tangible link between God's enduring promises and his unfolding plan. The star became profoundly symbolic, representing hope, guidance, and the dawning of a new covenant. It shows a God who works meticulously through time, weaving his intentions into the very fabric of creation, long before the human story reaches its appointed climax. The heavens themselves became a testament to his sovereignty, displaying signs that, to those with understanding, clearly declared his purposes. The star of prophecy, therefore, speaks to the incredible precision of divine timing and the intricate way in which the past, present, and future converge in God's grand design. It reminds us that even the silent, distant cosmos can communicate profound truths to those who are willing to listen and observe. The brilliant light in the sky, a beacon of hope for some, cast a long, ominous shadow over others, particularly within the corridors of power. As the Magi arrived in Jerusalem, their announcement of a newly born king of the Jews did not inspire joy in the reigning monarch, King Herod. Instead, it ignited a profound and deadly alarm, exposing a darker, more volatile side to the story of the star. Herod's fearful response was immediate and extreme. The wise men's inquiry about the whereabouts of the child sent shockwaves through the royal court, unsettling not only Herod but all of Jerusalem. This established king, notorious for his paranoia and ruthless grip on power, saw any mention of a new king as a direct threat to his throne. Why would a newborn child, seemingly harmless and vulnerable, provoke such a terrifying reaction, culminating in the horrific massacre of innocent infants in Bethlehem? Herod's actions reveal the depth of his insecurity and his willingness to eliminate any potential rival, no matter how young or seemingly insignificant. His fear stemmed from a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of the kingship the Magi proclaimed. He perceived it as a political threat, not a spiritual one. This dark chapter reveals a profound spiritual conflict ignited by Jesus' arrival. The light of the star exposed the darkness in human hearts, particularly those clinging desperately to earthly authority. It underscores the truth that the arrival of divine truth often brings discomfort and opposition to those entrenched in systems built on control and ego. Indeed, Herod's brutal response highlights the spiritual warfare at play behind earthly politics. The kingdom of God, announced by the star and embodied in the infant Christ, stood in stark contrast to the oppressive, self-serving empires of men. The clash was inevitable, and Herod's reaction was a raw manifestation of the spiritual forces arrayed against the dawning of God's reign. The brilliant light of the Star of Bethlehem did not just lead wise men to a manger. It simultaneously shone a spotlight on the inherent tension between God's redemptive plan and the forces of darkness seeking to thwart it. It was a catalyst, revealing that the arrival of the Messiah would not be a quiet, unnoticed event, but one that would send tremors through every level of society, challenging power structures and demanding a response. While scientific explanations offer valuable insights into potential astronomical phenomena, the biblical account of the Star of Bethlehem invites us to consider something more profound: the possibility that it was not merely a physical light, but a supernatural manifestation, a direct message from beyond the natural realm. What if this star was not an object within the cosmos, but an intervention that utilized the cosmos as its canvas? The concept of a Shekinah glory, a visible manifestation of God's presence, resonates deeply here. Throughout the Old Testament, God's glory often appeared as a cloud, fire, or brilliant light. Think of the pillar of fire that guided the Israelites through the wilderness, a dynamic, intelligent light that moved and stopped according to divine will. Could the Star of Bethlehem have been a similar display of divine presence, tailored for a specific moment in history? This perspective suggests a direct intervention, a moment when the divine broke through the veil of the physical world. It posits that God himself, or his immediate presence, was being revealed through this celestial sign. It was not a distant star whose light merely arrived after traveling for years, but a dynamic, active force at work in the immediate vicinity of Earth. Could it have been an angelic or spiritual phenomenon, cloaked in light, acting as a divine herald? The Bible describes angels appearing in various forms, often accompanied by brilliant light. The angels who announced Jesus' birth to the shepherds were surrounded by the glory of the Lord, a radiant light. It is conceivable that the star was a unique, localized manifestation of angelic activity, guiding the Magi with intelligent purpose. Arguments for this elevated understanding of the star point to its unusual behavior described in Matthew's Gospel, which we will explore further. Such behavior goes beyond what natural astronomical phenomena can typically explain. To view it simply as a conjunction or comet might miss the deeper, more miraculous dimension that the biblical narrative suggests. This perspective transforms the star from an astronomical curiosity into a holy invasion, a radiant messenger declaring a profound theological truth. It was not just a light that shone, but a living declaration, unmistakable and intentional. The Star of Bethlehem, when viewed through this lens, becomes a powerful affirmation. Emmanuel is here. It proclaims that God is not distant and uninvolved, but actively present, breaking into human history in a tangible, visible way to announce the arrival of his Son.